I mean, it started out as like the task was to compliment 3 people.
Yeah.
Just like, and I was like, no, I don't even know, bro.
Today, I'm gonna share a crazy story about meeting a guy with huge insecurities about dating due to hair loss, giving him a full day of infield coaching, and how it completely shattered his limiting beliefs about himself and women. So, about a month ago, I went to a friend's bachelor party, stag as they call it here in the UK. So at the stag, there were about 10 guys, and I immediately hit it off with this guy named Nick. Nick opened up to me about his deep confidence issues, mainly stemming from this one huge event. A few years ago, he started losing a lot of hair, which he thought really made him look unattractive, and therefore his thinking was that a lot of women would find him really unattractive, and he started worrying that women would not be interested in him. As he told me his story, I sensed that he's such a vibey guy, a loving, grounded soul who really enjoys deep, meaningful conversations and connections, and he really cares about his self-development, and he wants to really work on himself. This told me that number one, he would benefit a lot from someone like me really stepping in on a deeper level and getting coached. And number two, that I would actually really love to be his mentor because he's got that vibe. Later that day, the bachelor party crew and I went to a day music festival, and there I approached a few women to show Nick how simple it can be.
Like this one. I love your necklace. Super dope. Where'd you get that? It's like a nature vibe?
Spain.
Spain. Like a southern Spain.
Santander. In Abbeywood.
Abbeywood. I have no idea.
It's not near here.
Not near here.
Probably where it is.
No idea. Abbeywood.
I gave him a glimpse into what's possible when you start putting yourself out there and start offering value. So a couple of weeks after the bachelor party, I ended up giving Nick a free session that lasted an entire day. He first came over to my spot and we started chatting. So Nick started asking me a lot of questions about how to vibe, how to connect with people, how I actually developed all the skill set and my journey and everything. And that was really important because setting a powerful context is key. But then at a certain point, I said, hey bro, we can sit here, conceptualize and theorize all day long, but nothing beats action. Let's go out there, start saying hi to people, start offering value, and let's actually learn out there in the real world. Especially given where you're at, this is really important. So let's do it. Before meeting me, he had never said hi to a stranger during the day. So rather than giving him a super daunting mission of saying hi to a lot of women during the day and try to go on a date or phone number, I was like, okay, let me give you a super simple mission. All you need to do today is to say hi to 3 people and just give them a compliment about their outfit, their behavior, and their vibe. Simple, right? What ended up happening was something I never would have expected. And 8 hours later, here we are, sitting down and reflecting on our day.
Yeah, so what happened over the past 8 hours? It's been a big day. You pushed me.
Yeah.
You pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I basically have been approaching women. I think we said about 15.
Something like that.
Today, and yeah, it was a very illuminating process, seeing all my insecurities come up, seeing my limiting beliefs, stopping me from doing certain things, making me act a certain way. And each time I approached, we talk about it, and you gave some amazing feedback, and it was just this process of just trying to refine it. And now I'm feeling really hyped.
Yeah.
The vibe has been amazing today, and I'm excited to keep going with this.
What would you say your biggest breakthroughs and takeaways are?
My biggest takeaway is that there are just opportunities everywhere, constantly presenting themselves to me, but I wasn't seeing them before today. And you showed me how there's just opportunities everywhere in the supermarket, walking from this place to another. So that was a huge takeaway. The other thing was about just how so much of this is just coming from within me. That I'm the source of all the insecurities. They're all just my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs.
Yeah.
And whenever I approached anyone, it didn't come across as like weird or, I had those kind of beliefs that they might think it's weird or that I would get rejected. Like none of that ever happens.
Yeah.
So it just showed me that like that all just came from me. And so much of it is just like my limiting beliefs. And that's all they are. Just beliefs that are just holding me back, basically. And that was very illuminating.
Yeah.
A big emphasis that you speak about in your videos is this thing of the vibe. So I was really intrigued to kind of pick your brain about that. But then also I think like your approach to this as well, like so much of it, is about the vibe and just like giving compliments. And that seems to kind of work, align quite well with me.
Offering value versus taking value.
Yes, definitely.
I think the first interaction that like really stood out to me was when you approached that. Actually, no, that's actually the second one. The first one was like when we were at Angel Station.
Yeah.
Like that girl sitting down. Yeah. And you like you complimented her, and then she just kind of like smiled at you immediately. She took the earphones out, and then she was like, all I saw was like the body language, and she kept on smiling at you, and then you just like ejected, Yeah. And then I think like after that, maybe the one right after that, it was like this like Asian girl.
Yeah.
And then you just like went straight for it, and I really like that energy of like you just like you ran quite a bit, but then like that's the type of energy I want to see. You're like, okay, let me go for it. I don't care. Like that's very masculine, very attractive. You're going for it, and then yes, you technically didn't do the right stop. You kind of like started walking a little bit, and like it wasn't very masculine. But then like the vibe was so she felt your vibe that like despite all of that, she was still happy to give you, all her info and all that stuff, and like you definitely could have taken her number,
Definitely.
Yeah. And then lastly, I cannot forget that girl with the leggings and like the gloves, boxing gloves. Again, the vibe was great. You ejected, and I was like, yeah, she's sitting there. Gotta go back, And then you went back.
When you were like, go back.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like that just went against all of my beliefs.
Yeah.
And that was actually amazing. That felt like a big breakthrough moment for me.
Fuck yeah.
Was realizing that's actually like a strong, powerful move to go back up to someone and to just fully own what just happened.
Exactly.
That I think you said like a good thing to say would be like, look, I really like your vibe. I don't normally approach people, just being completely honest and authentic. And saying, look, I just completely ran out of things to say. Like just owning it. And that's what I did. I came back and she laughed and was like, and we went back and forth a few times. And I said, oh, do you fancy like getting a coffee sometime? And she said, I actually have a boyfriend, but you should definitely approach people more. Which, that was cool.
Yeah.
So even going back to this girl for the second time, I had all these beliefs that like this was going to be game over, and actually it was received very well.
Yeah,
and nicely.
Exactly.
And so much of it was the vibe that I came in with.
Yeah.
So yeah, you did an amazing job helping me do that. For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That was really fun actually. Just like me saying like, yo, let's go. You're like, oh bro, I don't know, man.
Like I mean, all of my ideas about like approaching women, the idea that you fumble it and then you go back up to her, like that went against everything that I thought. But the way you kind of flipped it made so much sense.
But because number one, you did not flip it. No, you didn't fumble it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I believed I did.
You believed you did. That's also limiting belief.
Yes.
You just left. But then all I saw, like from a few meters away, I was like, okay, she's smiling,
Yeah.
she's appreciating, and then you just ran out of things to say and you just left,
Yeah.
So, well, she's there, still sitting. Let's go back,
Yeah.
And it's also fun,
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much happened. Just us walking around the city.
Yeah.
Like so much has happened today. So much
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
Just by walking around and just approaching women.
Exactly.
So much has been learned today.
Yeah.
It's
I'm very
unbelievable.
glad. And then that one girl, that Austrian girl, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. She was just like, she just immediately opened up. And I was like, just trying to like observe you guys, and she started talking to me as well. And she's just down to vibe,
We just all started walking together.
Yeah,
And just
yeah.
talking about life.
Yeah.
And she was so open to it.
Very
It was
open.
quite an unusual situation,
Mhm, mhm.
but like, she didn't seem thrown off at all.
No.
It was just chill.
No, she wanted to keep on
Yeah,
going,
definitely.
We actually said like, okay, we gotta go. And, like,
Mm.
we could have walked together with
Yeah.
her, but then we're like, okay, we're going this way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. Just
Yeah. Huge day, bro. Huge day. Huge
big
day.
Big day.
But one thing I was emphasizing quite a lot was that the only way that we can learn powerfully is through action. Then you did.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then I'm very proud that you made that happen today.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It was an amazing day. Thank you for your wisdom. Some serious wisdom was dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you actually taking that in, Yeah.
And this is just day one.
This is just
Like,
day one for us.
It's crazy. Like, so much has changed within this one day. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm kind of hyped tomorrow just to like go to a coffee shop and just start talking to people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it feels like something's kind of shifted right now in my mind, in my mindset, which is fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Because I'm always out and about. I'm trying to be out in the world and make myself open to meeting people. But the thing that I've lacked is just like the confidence. Where today we just like took action, and just did it, and it was very illuminating how possible it is.
Yeah.
It's just right there for the taking, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just limiting beliefs. That's the only thing basically that's stopping.
Exactly.
That's it. Just the stories, the limiting beliefs, and if I could just put that to one side for just like a split second and be present when I'm talking to this person,
Yeah.
it all seems to go fine.
Exactly. You create your own reality. You own the vibe. You own your own vibe. You create your own reality, and that's how you really dismantle your limiting beliefs. And by being present, you know how to have like the most unforgettable. You know how to create the most unforgettable moment with the person in front of you. Because when you're like so focused on that present moment, then when you're having that conversation, for example, that digital nomad girl, right? Like, instead of like next, it's almost like she's like telling you multiple times like, hey, so I'm traveling a lot, I'm like packing today. It's like, oh, like what brought you to London? And like, why US, Why do you have this digital nomad lifestyle, Curious, being curious and like going deeper, Curiosity is a form of love,
Yeah, that was definitely one really big takeaway is learning how to build kind of like a deeper connection with someone quite quickly. You were really good at kind of explaining that through if they say something that's kind of interesting, exploring that instead of just like I was kind of rushing and moving on to the next thing. Not really being present, feeling slightly insecure, but like just within that one sentence, like I'm a digital nomad, there's so much within that
so
sort of
much, yes.
And there's an opportunity there to really like get to know someone deeply.
Exactly.
And that was a big takeaway from
Yeah.
our work today for sure.
Yeah. When you actually think about like a normal conversation that you have with like a friend, it's like when we met up with Harry and Izzy today, like we're like exploring all these topics. We talk about one thing and we go really deep, and and then like maybe we like talk about the same, we bring that same level of depth to like someone else, but we still talk about the same topic, you know. Business, we're talking about business for quite a while, you know. Okay, what do you do? Like this, like approaching, creating these connections, like we're talking about that for a while, you know. So you can bring that same type of depth in, and because this is also aligned with your brand as well of like depth. I think you're someone who actually really enjoys deep, meaningful conversations, and then that's a very, very powerful way to show your vibe. You know, like how to lead them, how to lead the conversation in a way that like is aligned with your authenticity. You know,
that's cool, because I think my belief before today was very much that I have to kind of change who I am and be more of like an extrovert type person, where I think I'm naturally more like introverted and like talking about things on like a deeper level. But actually that kind of fits in with your approach.
Exactly.
Which is so cool.
Exactly. That's why actually, I mean, I'm a strong extrovert, but at the same time, like I enjoy very deep conversations. And what I've noticed is that for introverts, like that depth comes like way more easily once they've really learned how to make that first approach. Then in terms of like, you know, going deep in their conversations, it becomes like way easy. You know? For example, you're talking to a girl, hey, oh, I think you're in fashion, but you can have like way more like colorful vibe around it. Like, oh, you must be doing fashion because just like your bag right now, it matches your funky sunglasses. Like definitely like a bohemian vibe that's like very unusual here in this setting. It's like way more like colorful, you know? So you can start adding more and more to it, you know?
Yeah, I really see that within you, how you embody it, or, you know, that confidence that just kind of like runs through you.
Yeah.
That you're constantly growing, you're doing what you want to be doing, you know, you've like found your purpose. It like really comes through in a big way. And I think, yeah, like today just was such a good example of that. When you're not even trying and like the girl is trying to talk to you. Yeah, that's something that's kind of like started to become quite clear to me over the last like few months, is that I feel like I'm very much trying to like fit myself into the world, where like with you, I see you just like owning your story, and like the truly extraordinary people just like own their story, and they don't try and make themselves fit into a world.
Yeah.
They just like show up to the world as themselves and make the world accept them.
Exactly.
And I feel like I've been like trying to like, yeah, fit into a world where like I've had a quite a unique, unusual life, and I should leverage that and own that.
Own it.
You know, fully. And so yeah, that's the vibe right now. So yeah, it's been cool to like see that from you, and yeah, that's definitely something I'm trying to like embody right now. It's just like fully owning my story, my life experiences.
Yeah, 100%. And really completing all of them, you know, really owning them, not judging yourself, you know.
I appreciate it. And just the vibe of you as a coach just is so nice and friendly and fun and playful. Yeah, like it never felt like you like knocked me down at all.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, I don't know, like you never criticized anything I did actually.
Why would I do that? Yeah.
It was always just like trying to bring me up, which was nice.
Yeah, I guess that's my style. Yeah, I mean, for me, like knocking someone down doesn't help anyone. And honestly, you were killing it, bro. Honestly, like, you know, I mean, if you're not like pulling your weight, yeah, like I'll tell you. You know, I'm very straightforward, but like honestly, like you were killing it. Today was a massive day, objectively. Like,
I mean, it started out as like the task was to compliment 3 people.
Yeah.
Just like, and I was like, no, I don't even know, bro. And you were like, no, literally, like, if they've got a cool top, just be like, hey, nice top. If they've got a cute dog, like, nice socks. Yeah. Like, that was the task, and I was like, no. And then I ended up, like, approaching, like, 50 girls and, like, having legit conversations.
Yeah, that was insane.
So yeah, it's a big fucking day.
Yeah, objectively, wow, that was wild. Wow. Strong case study, bro. Strong case study.
Yeah, I wonder what you think would be like the next kind of day out, like approaching. Like, what would that look like based on today? What do you think you would set as like the goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think doing this, like maybe you being a bit more direct and then like having like more of a masculine intention come through, right? And having just like going deeper, actually, staying with like the topic, and then, actually you connecting with them on an emotional level, and then you understanding something like three strong takeaways from them, and then them feeling the same, recognizing when and where they actually start investing in the conversation with you, and then like letting them invest, so that they also find out more about you.
Totally.
Yeah. And then some more like group sets, and then like getting their contact details, like going on an instant date, quick coffee, quick tea.
Yeah, well, I think that's what was so mind-blowing about today. Like, that's what was so illuminating about it, is like each interaction, there was just so much to be learned in terms of like body language, like the way I spoke, what did I say, how did I respond, like just so many things, so many layers to each interaction.
Yeah.
Really crazy. Totally.
Yeah.
And so something else we spoke about, which I think is just so true, is just like how everyone's using dating apps. No one is doing this. Like, it's very rare for a guy to approach a girl on the street like we did today. But it's like so powerful.
Exactly.
Such a powerful move if you can do that. You know, it shows that you've got this level of self-worth. You've got this like confidence. You've got good communication skills. Like, that immediately puts you in this like higher echelon of men.
Exactly.
It's a very different vibe to like pick me on a dating app.
Exactly.
Which is kind of like what I've been doing, which like hasn't worked.
Yeah. It's like they don't put you in the same bucket as like one of those other guys. You're not one of them. You're the only one.
So true. So true.
Yeah. This is actually like a really powerful skill set. It's also quite dangerous, if you don't use it the right way. Yeah. That's why like I almost like consider it like my duty to kind of give this skill set to someone who deserves it, Like, I really mean it, Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because I know like it can hurt some people if you because it's like it really like gets to the like heart of the vibe, and it can really kind of like sort of like stimulate someone's soul, like and I think you've seen like a glimpse of like me doing it, yeah. It's like just like that, yeah, and they're like, whoa, like what is that,
Yeah, very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, imagine like what it did to your confidence today and to your limiting beliefs. Imagine like what would happen like a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Keep up with this momentum. Imagine what would happen like if you parlay this type of vibe into the rest of your life, to your business, to your lifestyle, to your community. All right.
Cool, man. Thank you for today, man.
You're welcome.
If you're someone who's obsessed with growth and self-development, and you feel like you gain a lot from having a mentor who could unblock a few things you're stuck on towards your dream relationship and life, click the link below and let's have a chat. Join my newsletter for exclusive tips on creating love and deep, meaningful connections anytime, anywhere. Like and subscribe. Keep calm and vibe on. Peace.